I'm sure you're going to talk about this on your show, Mo. So Bill Belichick, the famous football coach for the Patriots, he did a hell of an interview with CBS over the weekend. Just for people that don't know, he is 73 years old and he is accompanied everywhere by his 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. I just want to show the clip and then we'll get into this. Number 6.
Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on, though Hudson has recently posted about it on Instagram.
You joined InstaFace, as you put it. I love that. There's some great pictures of you and Jordan, where you're a fisherman and she's a mermaid. It's charming. It's a different side of you. What's the reaction been like?
What's it been like?
To have these different sort of photos. There's another one where you're doing, I know you're not into meditation or yoga or Pilates. You're balancing Jordan on your feet and she's doing kind of the Titanic pose.
Yeah, so I'm on some of those social media platforms, but I honestly don't follow them.
Oh, God.
Okay, I have many things to say. Mo, you've known Miranda and I a long time, and I'm just going to say something, and I'm sorry if this is too much information for everybody, but there is nothing on planet Earth that would get me to date someone 50 years older than me. There just isn't. There's no amount of money. There's nothing. There is nothing. Nothing. It's too old. It's too old. My parents were 22 years apart in age, and I think that's really the cap off of where we should go with age differences, and I accept that because I wouldn't exist without it, but this is the weirdest thing. Why is she in the interview? And for people that don't know, she is creating a lot of controversy because she's like showing up at practice games. He's I believe the coach for Duke now in North Carolina. UNC, excuse me. So sorry. I want to know from you just how you felt about this. Why does he look disheveled? Why does he look like
he always looks like that? I mean,
why does he look like he's shocked?
Even when he was like a Super Bowl champ coach for the Patriots, he looked like a homeless guy. He always looked like that.
I read also that fans and football players for the team are getting nervous because of her like omnipresence everywhere in his life. What do you think of all of this, Mo?
I'm not going to comment about his personal life in the sense of
you're classy.
You love who you love. So I'm not going to get in between that. But there's something to be said for why she is omnipresent in his media appearances. And it seems like she's pushing for them and guiding them, as opposed to Bill Belichick, who's never been a fan of the media. He's never wanted to sit down and talk about himself. He's never really wanted to open up. He's always been monotone. He's always been short one-word answers. And to Miranda's point, he's always been disheveled. He's not a good interview. And the fact that he's there talking about his personal life says to me that he wanted no parts of that. But she thought the interview was good for his profile, but also wants to control the parameters. Now, as a journalist, that bothers me to no end. You can tell me, you can choose no comment. You can choose not to answer.
Yeah.
You can't tell me what questions to ask. And I, as a journalist, and this is supposed to be a piece about your personal life, Bill Belichick. Well, the only personal life we really know about is your 24-year-old girlfriend who you met at the gym or something. You know, love knows no boundaries. But the whole point of this interview was to talk about you and your life. And if I can't talk about you and your life, then we might as well just end the interview here. And by the way, don't tell me off from the corner that we're not going to talk about that. Have Bill Belichick, who's the subject of the interview and answering that question, say, no comment. I would rather not talk about that.
And sorry to interrupt you, Mo. And also, you can't be putting pictures of yourself up with a fisherman and a mermaid and like doing yoga with like you're inviting everyone into your personal life. And she's posted a lot of very personal, intimate, like quite frankly, things that make me uncomfortable on her social media. And then at the same time, be like shocked you're being asked this question. And also, I'm not, and one second, Miranda, I'm not like the biggest football fan. I'm just like Cardinals forever, whatever, but my husband is. And I know so much about Bill Belichick that I've never known before. And I just think this is so crazy. Go ahead, Brandon.
Clearly, he's not in charge of his own social media.
Because he's 74.
Well, yeah, he doesn't. Insta face is what they call it. He doesn't even know what it is. So she's the one putting up those bizarre yoga mermaid posts or whatever. And I did a little bit of digging. They met on a plane. So I feel like this is very like Ballerina Farm. You know how the guy like set it up so that he would be sitting next to this girl on the plane. Do you remember the Ballerina Farm story? Please tell me you remember.
Sort of.
The guy's like,
they creep me out too.
It was very weird. The guy set it up so that he'd be sitting next to this woman on a plane and they'd meet, and that was their meet cute, and they'd fall in love, and they ended up getting married and having 3 million children. And this very much feels like the same thing. Like she knew he'd be traveling on the plane. This is my perspective. She knew he'd be traveling on this plane, and she set it up to meet him on the plane. That is how they met. They did meet on a plane, and she was reading some like academic textbook for funsies, and it caught his interest, and they started chatting. And that's how they got together. But what's bizarre is that she's sitting off to the side. She's like a Svengali to him. He's got all these children that are 15 years older than her. But we never see any of them hanging around as any, like, it's almost like a weird conservatorship. It's very strange. It's very bizarre. And yes, like what Mo said, he always dressed like that with the weird cut up sweatshirts and stuff like what my dad wears to mow the lawn on the weekend. But wouldn't you dress it up at just a teensy bit for CBS Sunday morning? Just a teensy bit.
Yeah, I totally agree. Anything else we want to say about Bill Belichick before we move on, Mo?
I just think of it this way. Yeah, I believe it's contrived to a certain degree, if only because of all the 74-year-old men in the world, she found the one that was just right for her. I'm more cynical than most. If they truly love each other, if they truly enjoy each other's company, God bless them. But there is a degree of this from the social media to this interview. Bill Belichick does not need a sit-down interview to talk about his personal life. That has never been the person that he's been. And to do that now says to me that someone is exerting undue influence on him. Not that he's not in charge of his faculties and make his own decisions. I just believe that this is not something that he personally would ever want.
Well, do you think she was mad that she wasn't sitting next to him in the interview and being asked by Tony DeCopolis, how did you guys meet? What's your love story and all that? And that's why maybe she said, we're not going to answer this.
I think that's part of it. But she since she obviously was guiding the interview during the course of the interview, she knew what the content and the subject matter was going to be of the interview. And she wants to elevate Bill Belichick and also by extension herself. But it doesn't seem like she wants any of the focus to be on her, because there probably are some uncomfortable conversations that neither of them wants to have.